Peace,
Howdy,
peace, love, and light.
peace and blessings to you.
How are you today?
I'm feeling good like a winter should. How are you?
I am happy to be sitting still. Today has just been a long, busy day, but I'm grateful.
There you go.
It's
Be
been an
great.
amazing day.
Be grateful that you have the option to sit still or move when you want to.
Give thanks for that.
So, what are we talking about today? What's the vibe?
The vibes today is planning visits in long distance relationships.
Hmm.
Something we know a lot about.
Yes, indeed. It's become like regular. This it's not even a thing. It's just like part of life. It's just how we do what we do. We got some trips
hmm
coming up soon, don't we? Huh? Or at least we got one trip coming up.
Yeah, so you just recently left Atlanta, so I was happy that you came for the visit, and
Shout
we
out to
haven't.
everybody at the ATL. Quite a bit of hospitality while I was there. I got to
Absolutely.
experience some of that Southern hospitality, and I so appreciate
hmm I'm a whole Southern girl. I'm a Georgia
it. Oh,
peach.
Southern girl.
Yeah,
Although I had a peach from Middletown. Middletown is known for peaches, you know. I think the Middletown peaches are rivaling Georgia peaches.
that is blasphemy.
Hey, I went to the farmer's market. I'm just saying.
Yes, so fun fact about Vernon and I have been invited to your family reunion.
That's how you do it, y'all.
Woo! Yeah, I'm nervous because I'm meeting your mom, so
Gonna meet my mom, gonna meet my cousins, gonna meet my nieces and my nephews and my aunties.
hmm I'm
Have
excited,
a
and
good
it's
old
going to
time.
be on the beach, which is one of my most favorite places. So that part kind of takes the edge off a little bit,
Yeah, you got to
but
balance things out, you know.
I'm
Going to
still a
the
little
beach.
nervous.
I didn't know Savannah, Georgia had a beach. What do I know? But we're going
Tybee
to.
Island,
What is it called?
Tybee,
Tybee Island.
Tybee Island. Let me just
All
send
right.
this to my phone.
Well, we're gonna
So
have some
yeah,
fun at Tybee Island at the Pinckney family reunion in Savannah, Georgia, next
hmm
week.
so I'm super excited about that. So one of the key factors in planning your visits, I think, of course, at the foundation of every relationship is great communication.
Mm-hmm. Communication about what?
Because great communication in general, because first of all, what are you going to do when you see each other?
You got to have a whole itinerary planned out. Do you really have to have a lot planned though? What if you?
Uh,
Why can't it just come together, just be together, just spend some time together? Why every time you go somewhere you gotta stack the schedule?
I mean, some people like to stay busy like that. Some people want to lay low. I think you should have a good balance. I think you should have a good balance. I know you've said to me on a couple of different occasions, we don't have to do a lot. Because I was like, ooh, let's go do this. Ooh, let's go do that. And a part of my reasoning was I now have somebody to go with these things to me with me
Hmm.
that I've wanted to go to. Some things I'm cool going by myself. Some things I would rather go with the person, go with you. So that was a part of my excitement. But we've been around this rodeo a couple times, and now I'm like, okay, we could just chill at home. We could do nothing. It doesn't matter, because normal life is you're not doing something every single day.
True.
Some days you're just going to your place of employment and coming home and just doing regular smegular stuff. I remember that one time you went to do laundry with me.
Yep. And
Yeah, that's
and
regular.
went to the shopping market, the supermarket.
Yes, that's
That was the
regular
highlight of my
everyday
visit,
stuff.
actually.
Yeah, because fun fact about Vernon, you love Trader Joe's.
Yes.
And the one here is not even close to my house. So, yeah,
So
that
we got
part.
to be purposeful and intentional when we go to Trader Joe's down there.
hmm Yeah. So, definitely got to talk about your likes, what you like, what you don't like. What kind of person are you? Are you a homebody? Are you the type of person that just, wants to be out there and be seen and be a part of all the events? Like, that's why I said communication is so important. You got to know your person
Mm-hmm.
and what your person likes to do.
For sure, for sure.
And
I will say every time
Mhm.
I come down to Atlanta, you have it seems like we always have something new to get into.
Mhm.
There's more than enough to do, but watch, Delaware is gonna be hitting in the fall.
I keep hearing about Delaware.
You know?
I don't know. It just seems kind of boring, but we'll see. I will see.
Okay, I got some things planned for you.
Awesome sauce. So let's talk about budget.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to consider because if you're planning a trip to see your person, there's a plane ticket, train ticket, gas. If you're driving, there's that expense.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Gotta
the
be
expense.
practical.
Hmm?
Gotta be practical. I mean, you
You
can
have to be
plan.
practical.
Nobody wants to be limited in terms of what they're going to do. We don't want to live a life in a relationship of restrictions, but
I know I don't.
have to
Don't
be
tell me no
practical.
too many times. I'm just saying that up front.
Yeah, that doesn't fly well for most people. That doesn't fly well for anybody really, but
Right.
it definitely has to be planned out. You can't just go willy nilly. You can't just go throw caution to the wind. What's that saying? YOLO. You only live once. Just do it. And then when
I
you
mean,
after the trip is over, you got all these regrets and whatnot because you spent your light bill money on, going out to the movies or whatever.
that has never been my issue. If I know that I have some bills to pay, because one thing I will not do by the grace of God is be homeless,
Or
have
in
my
the dark,
lights off, have my water off.
and have
I
no
have to
food.
maintain my place if nothing else.
Absolutely.
Food, clothing, and shelter are the top three
Basic.
for me.
You can't go below that threshold, right?
Exactly. And so in your communication process, like I think I'm pretty good at finding stuff for free.
Mm-hmm.
The park is always free.
And there's
Hiking is always
and there's
free.
always something going on in the park.
There's pretty much, even if you just go to People Watch, which is one of our favorite pastimes.
Indeed. I'm glad we can find enjoyment in the simple things.
Hmm. You don't have to spend money to have fun.
That's right. Shoot, we had a ball that what was the name of that place? We found a spot by the Jimmy Carter Library.
Oh, you talking about the trail over there?
Yeah, that trail over there. And
Hmm.
we drove past that a couple of times and I saw some statue off in the distance. I was like, what the heck is that? And when we
Atlantis
finally got a
Rising.
chance to go and see it, Atlantis Rising. Yeah, man. I don't know
Hmm.
what's so special about this one statue in all of Atlanta, but it was fly. It was a whole vibe, the whole area. It was like a vortex. We stepped into a place and it just had good energy. I felt good on that visit. I felt good, finally going to see that thing that I saw in the distance up close and personal.
Hmm. And we've only been in certain sections of Atlanta so far.
That's right. We haven't even seen all the good stuff, right? We've been to
Mm-mm.
Little Five Points. Did I get it right? Little 5 Points?
We've been, 5 points is where we ride the train to get off from my work.
What's the
Little
little,
five,
what's
little
this
5 points is the other eclectic area where you see, all the out of the box type stuff.
out of the box? That about sums us up.
That about sums it up. So we haven't even hit like other outlying areas of Atlanta to see.
So, in Sweetwater Creek Park,
Yes, Sweetwater Creek Park was $5.
got to get the nature in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
That was
there's
only five
loads of
bucks.
stuff to do. All that to say, there's loads of stuff to do, and you don't have to break the budget to do it.
And there's also the quality time that you can spend at home, cooking, doing activities at home. Like, I'm into plants. So, that could be something that we do, move a plant around or water the plants. That's kind of like for me as a plant lady, that's like an intimate thing to bring you into my world so that you can see how I take care of my plants.
That really is so cool because you like to move plants around and I like to watch you do it. So it's like, right.
And you like to cook, and I like to watch you do it.
Absolutely. I love the kitchen. If I have my goal, one of my things on my bucket list is to be on one of those cooking shows on the Food Network.
Mm-hmm.
I think I
Oh,
can,
I didn't know that.
yeah, I think I can I got some ideas that I want to see manifested like that. I think we can do some great things.
I would love to see you on the cooking shows.
Yeah.
I think you're
Iron
very.
Chef Burn.
Look at this love fest going on right now. I love it.
Well, yeah, good stuff. Be mindful of your budget. Do you even have a budget? Hmm.
I
It's
don't know that.
important to at least know, my thing is you got to at least know your numbers. Come on now. You can't be practical if you don't even,
Mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm.
just dealing with imagination.
Yeah. And like you said, you don't want to go spend all your money. And then I remember years and years and years ago when we were, going to different cities to, hear the minister or whatever. And people were like just taking whatever money they had
Hmm.
and just dumping it in there. Or even people who would travel didn't have a place to stay. Like that right there just boggles the mind.
Hey,
People still do that kind of thing. Like I'm sure you heard the story. There was a story on TikTok about this young lady who went to Miami. She only had $137 or something. Miami is not $137 city, especially if you're visiting. Word to the wise: if you don't have no money, stay home.
if you stopping through, you can go there and get off the bus or the train or whatever and turn right around and get back with $137 just to say you went to Miami.
Yeah, people have to experience and learn things on different levels these days, I think, because, we want to try it. We have access to cheap flights. And I saw this one girl who went somewhere in Europe just because the flight was cheap.
And that's
She was
not a
like, I
bad thing.
haven't seen not one black person here.
That's not a bad thing either. Just, hey, I've been there. I went,
Mm-hmm.
I saw, I came back, and I'm gonna go back again another time. If that's
Mm-hmm.
if that's what you got time to do this weekend, then hey, knock yourself out.
That's my next point, though. Trying a different city.
Hmm.
I would love for us to go to Arizona too, so we can go to Sedona Mountain.
Yeah, we actually have a list of places that we're going to experience together.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not just point A to point B. You can be in a long distance relationship, and the visit doesn't always have to be where one of you lives.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's definitely what I want to do. And I want to even take it further because, we talked about going to Africa to visit our friends there.
True. Yep. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
We got some good things in the works. Some good things to look forward to. That way we never get bored. We always have something to look forward to.
You know what? I had to tell myself the other day that being bored is okay sometimes.
Hmm. We differ on
Sometimes
that.
we have to stop and smell the roses.
We differ on that point because I don't believe that. I believe that being bored means you just not engaging all of your mind and your brain. It's impossible to be bored if you're doing what there is for you to do.
Mm-hmm. So maybe I shouldn't say bored. What else should I say? Unplanned. This is a time where I don't have anything planned.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
This is my free time.
You haven't found what present time is because in present time you can only be doing what there is to do. So
Awesome sauce. So, Vernon, I feel like we're at episode 14, and I think this would be a good time for us to kind of share with our listeners a little bit about us because we may have people that are joining us for the first time who've never heard this podcast before, don't know anything about love, space, and time and what it represents, don't know anything about you or me. I think this might be a good time to share because we literally are about to hit Well, we're past 3. Yeah, we're past 3 months. We're past, yeah, we're closing in on 4.
What, of doing the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we come. We're coming up on our 1 year anniversary soon.
We got to talk about that too, because how did we get to that? That's like so many questions. I want to hear you talk about it, and then I'm going to say, so tell the people a little bit about yourself.
All right, a little bit about me. Hi, everybody. My name's Vernon, and I'm not an alcoholic. Hi, Vernon.
Oh God, geez, what a way to start.
Well, I am off the cuff about 90% of the time. I like having fun. I do not believe in being humglum and, one dimensional. I like life. I like enjoying life. I'm so blessed and grateful that I have someone to enjoy life with.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a whole lot of life to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to live every moment like it's rich.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
On the, I'm very straight laced in some regards. I'm very focused and disciplined in that regard. I see what I see in life, so I can't not see it. I can't see it any other way than what I see. So that makes life cut and dry. It makes life simple in some regards. That's my approach to life. But I think a lot, spend a lot of time in my head, and when it's time to act and execute and do, I'm very much like, okay, let's do it. Let's get it done. This is what we're gonna be about. We're gonna take a trip. We're taking a trip this weekend, or we're not taking a trip until a month from now. It is the way it is in my mind, and
won't change your mind either.
and that's how I simplify life. So I love doing that. On the professional side, I'm a bookkeeper. I run a bookkeeping service and an advisory firm called Camnon Business Services that helps small businesses and entrepreneurs get their stuff in order, get their finances in order, and reach whatever their next level goal is. I love having those conversations. I love evolving. I love transformation and becoming more. So when you apply that to your personal life, when you apply that to your relationship, when you apply that to your business life, great things can happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, and the rest of the story?
And the rest of the story is I am in a wonderful long distance relationship that started last year with this wonderful woman who's on the screen with me, Kamisha. We've known each other or known of each other for years and didn't have the opportunity to really reach out toward one another and start forming ties and bonds until last year. And it has really been about growth and development and becoming richer in loving ourselves and loving one another and in being able to serve from our highest good. The God in me likes interacting with the God in her. And she's helping me to become better. I'm helping her to become better. And together we're going to rock the world.
And we are both
here now.
Oh my God.
We're both Capricorns. We're both, oh, that's what you wanted. We're both Capricorns. We're both Capricorns. We're the same age. We are children of the 70s and
yes,
and destined to bring this greatness together, just like Earth, Wind, and Fire, to work the elements for all their worth.
So if I can put you on the spot, and you can ask me this same question.
I'm going to put you on the spot now.
What do you feel like has been the greatest lesson that you have learned from being in a long distance relationship?
The greatest lesson that I have learned is what we do to ourselves that causes suffering. That's the greatest lesson that I've learned. It seems like the most recent tests that I've passed is how I feel about things that are happening in life, and the ability to vibrate higher, which is something I got from you. The ability to take the experiences and the thoughts and the feelings that come with that, and know that I have to rise above that. I have to stand above that. I have people depending on me, and I have things that I'm looking to accomplish, and I can't let my feelings about a situation, my feelings about, my performance, whether I did something great, whether I didn't do it yet, none of that adds value. So if it's not adding value, I'm releasing it, I'm letting it go, and I'm putting all that energy and intention into what's going to serve me, what's going to serve you, and what's going to serve us. That's been a big leap for me.
Right. Okay.
How about you? What have you learned? How have you grown? What have you picked up from this experience of being in a long distance relationship?
So I have to be honest and say, in the beginning, I was asking myself, could I do it? Can I be successful at this? Because, I am the type of person who likes to have my person with me. That's what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to be in a romantic relationship with someone and they're not with me, in the beginning, I was challenged by that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to go inward and kind of work on myself and focus on making myself better, raising my emotional maturity level so that I can handle better being apart from you. There are moments where nothing else will do, truly, other than just to be with you.
Right.
So I still have those challenges every once in a while, but I'm getting better. And so it really has been an opportunity for growth for me. You've definitely created a safe space for me to be able to express myself.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what I have said to you, you have always been very accepting of it and have listened to me. That's one thing that I definitely love about who you are as a being, because I don't ever feel judged. No matter what I say to you, how I'm feeling, and if I'm upset, if I'm mad with you, if I'm mad with somebody else, if I'm mad with myself.
What you mad with me about? I didn't do nothing.
And I talk to you about it, you just always are very receptive, and you have shown a level of emotional maturity as well, because you're just very nurturing of me in my heart, and I appreciate that.
One thing that being in a long distance relationship, I think that everybody has this opportunity to learn this lesson, but being in a long distance relationship helps me to focus on what kind of person I'm going to be in the relationship.
Right.
Time when people think about relationships, they think about what they want the other person to be like, right? What they want out of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
This made it easy to put the focus on, well, how do I want to be? What if I can, if the biggest influence in this relationship is going to be me, then what do I need to do? How do I need to be so that we get to the best outcome we can possibly get to for you and for me? There's a lot of time to think about that and to focus on that, and to put effort into becoming that kind of person that's going to lead to us having the best outcome that we can have. So, what most people think about when they think about relationships, I get the feeling that we got something a lot deeper because of the distance that's in the middle. We can't be about the superficial stuff, because
You're right about that.
So, and that I'm happy about, because once we finally do get together, once the distance is no longer a factor and this is no longer a long distance relationship, I think that, the groundwork has been laid. We got the foundation that can take us through wherever life's journey is gonna lead us. So I think that this is good preparation. Like Jill Scott said in that song, I just want to be prepared.
What song was that?
Be prepared. That's the name of the song. Jill Scott has a song. If y'all don't know it, check it out, y'all. It's one of my favorites. Be prepared.
That must be on the B side, because I promise you I've never heard that.
Nope, it's deep.
I like the idea of this being the time where we can lay the groundwork. Where we can, not that we're ever going to stop building ourselves and working on ourselves and, evolving to our different stages in life.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that this is the groundwork phase where we can get all the stuff out of the way. And I'm really grateful that I think one of the successes is that we had the book.
Yes.
What's the name of the book again?
Relationship Talks.
Relationship Talks by Katrina Muhammad.
Yep.
Where you go in the book and it has, different categories where you can ask questions of your partner.
Mm-hmm.
And that really was the foundation of how we got started. Our communication had to be there. You asked me questions, I asked you questions, and I got to hear your response. You got to hear mine.
Yeah.
So
and
I feel like
that matter, not flaky, surface level.
Not what's your favorite color.
Not those kind of questions.
Yeah, like not what's your favorite color, but just very grounded questions where you have to critically think about, how you're going to answer.
Yeah.
And I think that we started on a very intellectual level. We're very serious people. Capricorns generally can be very serious minded. So, I feel like that's just par for the course for who we are.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was a good start for us because you got to see my character. I got to see yours. And like I was saying before, if there was something that I had to say, you listened and we talked about it further and we dove deeper into it. And I like the fact that we always encourage each other to grow and do better.
Absolutely.
I like the fact that we support each other through the difficult times. We don't leave each other hanging.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things about you that just endeared me to you, when you I feel like you made up your mind that you wanted to be with me, and you would say something like, I'm in this with you forever, for life.
For life.
However you would say it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. You were very intentional with me. You are very intentional with me. And I appreciate that. You never left me room for doubt. Now, sometimes I created doubt myself.
That's how doubt works.
I know. We talked about that too, creating these scenarios, because the mind is infinite and go anywhere. But you never left me in doubt. You never made me doubt. So that's
you said that. You never left me in doubt.
That's a key thing for any type of relationship. If you are really about that person, you have to be intentional with them and communicate your intentions with that person, so they don't have to be like, well, what are we?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
And it's important to say that for yourself. It's important to know that for yourself. So speaking that out loud was how I get clear on that idea in my mind. Where do I had to ask myself, where do I want to go in my life? What do I want the next year or 2 years or 5 years to be like? Mm-hmm. So if I want you to be a part of that, if you're going to be an integral part of that, I have to speak those words into you. My vision, I always said it, my vision has to be big enough to include your vision, whatever it is that you desire. Yeah, I subscribe to that school of thought that says your desires should be my goals. And I like that. That's motivating. That's inspirational to me. That gives me something to reach and strive for. and I'm driven by stuff like that.
Mhm.
So saying what I said to you was reinforcing who I want to become and what I ultimately want my life to be and what I want our life to be together. So the more I can say it, the more it's just planting seeds for the future. How they say you make those grooves in your brain. Yeah,
Yes.
make those connections. So yeah, it just seemed to be the natural thing to do, to share my thoughts and my ideas with you. And if you resonate with my thoughts and ideas, then hey, you're supposed to be with me and I'm supposed to be with you. Somebody said, I heard somebody talk about, friendship. What is a friend? What does a friend really mean?
Mhm.
And a friend, how did they put it? A friend is someone who is going to contribute to your advancement in life.
Right.
Yeah, a friend won't do the things that are going to be detrimental to you, but what they spend most of their time doing is actually adding some benefit to you.
Having a benefit. Having a benefit. Yep. Exactly. And you talked about having a vision. I think that that's what so many women look for. Because there's so much conversation about, women submitting to men. You've never asked me to submit to you. You've
Yeah,
never asked me to do such a thing. But the way that you carry yourself and the way that you talk to me, it just makes it that much easier to say, okay, I have no problem.
I never understood why that conversation was so much on people's lips and on people's minds. You First of all, things like respect, being respected, is not something you should have to demand from somebody else. If you're demanding respect from somebody else, then there's already something off. There's something
Hmm.
about the equation that's missing. Respect is something that actual real respect is commanded. You don't have to make someone, you don't have to make someone respect you. You don't have to cause fear in someone for them to act a certain way towards you, you know? And if the idea of submitting, making someone submit to you is in your mind,
You
then
can't make somebody do that.
your own power structure is right. You shouldn't want to make someone submit to you. You
Mm.
should be practicing submission yourself so that you can be in line with the highest ideal that there is. Every one of us, every human being on the planet should be striving to become better. That means that's automatic submission. You are in submission. You practice submission. So the goal is not for me to get somebody else to submit to me. The goal for me is to be the kind of person that other people will respect because of who I am, not because of something I'm trying to get them to do. I want to be an honorable man, you know, more so than I want to be honored. I don't necessarily need to have people calling my name or recognizing me for a certain thing. I want to be a certain way. So if that being a certain way is producing this effect in you, I say it all the time to you that you give me confirmation that I'm doing something right.
And submission is a two-way street.
Submission is a two-way street. Don't think that somebody's supposed to submit to you and you're not going to submit to somebody else at certain times.
Hmm.
The thing that we're submitting to is what's right, is what's true.
What's the
If
truth?
you say
Exactly.
something to me that's right and true and good, well, I would be a fool not to submit.
I think that's a more positive way to look at it, look at submission, because the way that the way the dialogue happens a lot in our community is that the woman is submitting to the man, because the man is the head of the household and all of that. I understand that part, but there are times when the man has to submit to the woman too, because we're not we're not we're not ignorant, we're not uneducated. We don't have, it's not that we don't have the spirit of God dwelling in us
Hmm.
along with the partner that we chose. There are some times where we know better.
Absolutely.
And if you're the type of man that can't submit to the truth that's coming from somebody that you say you love, then
Mhm.
you don't deserve that person.
That's true.
You need to work on your ego.
It's a big part of it. I'm looking for, I'm constantly looking for lessons about reality to be revealed to me. So I can't have a closed off mind as to where those
Right.
lessons are going to come from. I can learn a lot by talking to you. I can learn a lot by talking to children. I can
Exactly.
learn a lot by observing nature. You know, they say you're on the path of God when you go out in search of knowledge until you return. When you return, you think you got it already.
But
Stop
you
thinking
don't.
you got it already. Stop thinking you know best. I've told you that. I don't know all the answers. I don't have all the answers.
Right.
I seek guidance throughout the day. And I'm so glad that we built that as a ritual, but a practice within our relationship. We go every day starts with us seeking guidance on how
Mm-hmm.
to be the best that we can be. So
Right. And
yes, the idea of submission, it doesn't I don't understand why it's a thing, why it's a sticking point. So many people have to talk about it. I got enough trying to get me to submit right. I ain't trying to have nobody else submit to me. If I can just get my stuff right, everything else will fall into place.
sometimes I wonder when I see when I see those types of conversations pop up, I just wonder where it comes from because there are bad actors whose sole purpose is to continue division
Hmm.
among black men and black women,
Yeah.
you know, and to keep us fighting amongst ourselves. So we really have to question sometimes where this stuff comes from, especially if it's divisive, especially if it keeps us arguing and fighting amongst each other.
Yeah.
We have to learn how to reject that type of thing and not even really participate. Or if you're going to have a dialogue, come with something positive, some positive reinforcement, to stand in opposition to all the negativity.
Hmm.
I know
Absolutely.
we all like attention. I know people get on social media and they want attention, but get the right kind of attention by doing something that's going to feed and nurture the discussion, not just be more garbage that we don't need.
Yeah. Doubling down just for the sake of doubling down.
Mm-hmm.
A big part of maturity is also learning how to respect other points of view. I don't necessarily have to agree with every point in a discussion, and I'm going to be in discussions with people who don't necessarily agree with my point of view. But
Mm-hmm.
my point of view is just as valid as anybody else's, and anybody else's point of view is their point of view, is how they see things. So I can't invalidate them and what they're seeing. They're standing in a total different position and
Mm-hmm.
have a whole different
Exactly.
set of life experiences. So the best thing that I can do is listen and hear and acknowledge that there's another way to see things.
Exactly. And you could literally learn something from someone else. So don't ever be closed off and closed minded just because the person doesn't, represent themselves as you do. It doesn't mean that you can't learn from them. Mm-mm-mm.
That can help on so many different fronts. You think about spirituality, religion, and what people believe in politics, and there's a better way of doing things, and a major part of it entails broadening your view, expanding the little concepts and ideas that you can tolerate. You got to be able to think outside the box.
There is no box. There is no spoon.
Ooh.
That was a good one, right?
That was right on time.
So I want to go ahead to the next question that I put in the chat, and I want to answer this. What has been the biggest challenge um, from my perspective, in a long distance relationship? And um, I think the biggest challenge just from it has been me and my uh, putting away, old habits and old ways of doing things and, you know, expectations and really just focusing on personal growth. I definitely have had to do some inner work in this situation. Um, and I've had to understand that just because you're not here with me physically doesn't mean that you're not here with me. And I take this opportunity to focus on the things that are empowering to me,
Mhm.
the things that I can do to create opportunities of growth for myself so that I can be better for me, better for my children and my grandchildren, better for you, better for people that I come in contact with, because I do believe we are a power couple.
For sure.
I do believe that. So, and that definitely has to start somewhere. So it has to start with personal growth and development.
Yeah.
So just putting aside the old me
Mm.
and growing this new me, that has been a challenge because I haven't had the crutch of you being here with me. You know what I'm saying? To distract me from it. I've had to focus on it.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
had to focus on it.
That's that. I think in those instances, and because of that, we can make a lot more progress than the average person or the average couple makes
Mm-hmm.
because there's less distraction. We don't have certain things in our way that's keeping us from focusing on the steps we can take right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, to answer this question, I think that the biggest challenge for me has been accepting time. You know, we loving across space and time. The
Mm-hmm.
distance, I was able to get over that very easy and very quickly. The distance, you know, we have ways to overcome that, but the time that it takes for stuff to get done and things that we were working on, things we were striving to make happen together and individually,
Right.
that that was been the biggest challenge for me because you gotta learning how to be patient. You know,
Mm.
nothing you can do but swallow that pill. and
Patience was not my virtue, honey.
if I thought it was, I was sadly mistaken and abruptly introduced to the idea that no, I don't have it under control. But yeah, that's been um, an area of growth that I can clearly see because there are some things that are not going to happen
Right.
until they can happen.
Right.
And I stopping myself from torturing myself because something I wanted wasn't happening right then and there
Mm-hmm.
has been very liberating. And I think that in long
Mm-hmm.
distance relationships, you know, you definitely be affected by the fact that hey, this person is not physically where I am, and yeah, they're over there. You can mitigate some of that and make it easier because you can always video chat. You can always hear the person's voice, and you have moments where you can just say what's on your heart. But
Right.
the the time that has to pass between, hey, we see each other every month, every 2 months, or you know, I only see the person I love once a week or whatever. You know, the time that passes um, is something that will condition you and will help you to become a much stronger and resilient type of person.
Ooh,
And that's what's needed.
yes. I have definitely experienced and, fighting with myself about when the next time is that I'm going to see you. Like that was an inner battle for real. And I would put myself in such a mood over that,
Hmm.
and it's like at the end of the day, I can't make time move any faster. Couldn't do it.
You keep trying if you want to.
Maybe I can bend it a little bit, but I can't
Yeah.
make it move faster. So, it's like a moment of clarity. Okay, listen, this is what it is. And what are you going to do about it? What can you do about it? Be patient.
And use the time that you do have as productively as you can. There's some things that you can make happen that's going to be a benefit to you in the future when you finally do come together
Hmm.
in this relationship. So I maybe it's a way to cope. I think that keeping myself busy, not necessarily just keeping myself busy, but I put my energy and time into things that I think is going to benefit me and you.
Hmm.
So that kind of makes me feel better. That makes me feel like the time is worthwhile. Spend that time wisely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't even get to answer that other question. Um, I asked you the question about.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to tell us about yourself.
Hmm. So
Who's Kamisha?
I am that I am. No, I'm sorry. So let's see. I'm currently in Atlanta. I've been here 12 years now. Um, and I have been divorced for 6 years.
Hmm.
Should I clap for that?
That's an important part of this arrangement right here, too.
Yeah, that's really important for this arrangement. Wow, I feel like I've been on a spiritual journey.
Hmm. When did your spiritual journey start?
You want me to go all the way to the back, all the way to the beginning?
Nah, just when what made you.
So I spent 20 plus years as a member of the Nation of Islam.
Mhm.
And so I was a member when I came to Atlanta. And to make this long story short, I had a spiritual awakening of my own. And I can't necessarily, put it all in words, everything that I experienced, but there was a calling for me to do something more than what I was doing. And so here I am, I've experienced a lot in the past 6 years. I feel like I've grown tremendously. I feel like I have faced um, a lot of things that were haunting me, because people have trauma from their past.
Mhm.
We all do. I've spent a lot of time with myself, by myself, working on me.
Mhm.
I've spent time exploring what makes me happy. Um, so just living life on my own terms and establishing who I am outside of all of the labels that people can attach to you. And I've told this story to you, Vernon. Some years ago, I wrote in my journal the type of partner that I wanted to have, because I knew I didn't want to be single for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
That was for a period of time. So when I decided that, okay, I do want to be in a romantic relationship with someone, I wrote down a description of what that person would look like. And I would say, in a nutshell, he is a conscientious lover, a conscientious person, a person who is on their own spiritual journey, discovering himself, compassionate, loving, charitable, just all these different things that I was looking for in a person. And um yes, we were Facebook friends for a while. We didn't really talk a lot. And then you wanted to introduce me to financial planning.
Mhm.
And that's not my wheelhouse. Like if you start talking to me about money, I'm probably gonna fall asleep. Because this is not this that doesn't excite me. I'm not that type of person. I am a Capricorn, yes. But I think I'm a different type of Capricorn, because if I'm never a millionaire, I will be okay as long as I'm happy and comfortable in my heart and I have peace of mind. I'm that type of Capricorn.
See,
But I am about my
I
but
don't
I
get
am
it. I'm
I
the
am
type of Capricorn that believes it's a sin to be broke. If
no,
you
I'm
broke
not saying
something
I want to
wrong,
be broke. I definitely am not about being broke either. Like I work for mine
well,
and I take care of myself and I'm comfortable where I am.
I believe in
But
abundance and all that comes with it. So I understand that having more than enough, just being comfortable, those are things I'm removing from my vocabulary. I have to, because like I said, people are depending on me,
people are
my
depending on
vision.
me too, babe. I don't want to make it seem like I'm satisfied with struggling, because I'm not. I don't no. I believe in abundance and prosperity and all of that. And all of that. So perhaps I didn't communicate that correctly.
No, I didn't.
But
I
I
wasn't saying
but
that about what you were saying. I'm just affirming another reality,
got it.
because I get my vantage point is that I have to make sure that I'm thinking wide enough to accommodate more than just myself. So if
Okay.
I want to be comfortable, then that that means there's an edge of the plate for stuff to fall off of. So I can't let your stuff fall off the edge of the plate. I have children. I can't let their stuff fall off the edge of the plate. So I'm trying to make it as wide as can be. I'm trying to expand my territory. I want to be an inheritor of the kingdom. I want to be able to give thanks to Almighty God for all the blessings that go beyond what I can imagine. And I can imagine a whole
Absolutely.
lot.
Absolutely. I know that I am already richly blessed just knowing where I've come from to where I am today.
True. Yeah.
So
And the riches don't just equate to physical coins and dollars in your pocket.
that's what I'm saying. Like the peace of mind is top tier for me
Hmm.
because you can have money in the bank and be insane or not have any clue about anything.
Yeah.
I would rather have a knowledge of myself and peace of mind,
Hmm.
and the money, of course, and the abundance and the wealth and all of that, all of that.
Right.
Um, so at any rate, back to my story. So you wanted to teach me about financial planning. I said, okay. I had no idea that it would lead to all of this.
Right. That wasn't what we were focused on.
Right. But when we talk to each other, the fact that you are a Capricorn, first of all, you could do no wrong in my book, just with that. And then when we started talking more, it was like, I was like, wow, this is a great person to know, you know? And we just kept on talking and kept on talking and kept on talking and getting to know each other. And I was like, okay, this sounds like an answer to something I asked God for some time ago. And when we met for the first time, that was on my birthday, right?
Yep.
You came down for my birthday, and the energy did not change. Did not change.
I wasn't expecting it to.
I'm just saying, you know how sometimes you can set up expectations in your head about how a person is because you're romanticizing them on the
Hmm.
phone and on the video. You create these. I know I was good to do that.
Hmm.
Okay, create these
Irritating.
scenarios. And when I met you, the energy did not change. And it was just the chemistry was everything. Didn't have to try, didn't have to force.
Hmm.
It was just easy going.
It's about keeping it real. God bless whoever invented that phrase. Keep it real.
Keep it real. Keep it real. And like I said, just you creating a safe space for me to come to you with my concerns and whatever I had on my heart and mind is something that's invaluable.
Hmm.
That I will always love you for that.
If that's the most valuable way to be in a relationship, then I got the target set right there. That's what I'm going to try to. That just makes life so simple. I was in a previous job that I held, the HR director. She said the key to success in your career is knowing who your boss is, knowing what your boss wants, and do that. But translate that into a relationship. The key to
Hmm.
a successful relationship is understanding who your partner is and what your partner wants, and work to fulfill that. How could you go wrong?
You cannot go wrong if you pay attention. You cannot go wrong. Whew. This day is catching up with me, though. I can tell you that.
Yep, yep, yep. You have been on the go since early, early.
Hmm. Well, I'm grateful that we got off on a tangent. Grateful that we got off on a tangent and have been able to share, little things about what we've experienced with each other, and hopefully, others can learn. I definitely think, and I'm sure you do too, that it's about self-development.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about taking from your partner. It's about what do you have to give.
Yeah.
And forget about some damn 50-50. Whoever said that is a clown, honestly. You
Clown.
know, it's either all or nothing in my book. It's all or nothing because you're going to expect that from your person. So you need to give yourself.
Exactly.
Give yourself.
You reap what you sow. So if you only give them 50%, then hey, you're going to attract somebody who's only going to give you 50%.
Exactly. And that's for the teenagers.
Yeah.
That's
Why
not
not
for the
be
grown
the
adults.
person that goes above and beyond? Why not go? I want to leave her impressed.
And I want to be impressed. I want to be impressed. So, as we begin to wind down this podcast, and I'm winding down physically because the day is wearing on me, I just want to share with our followers, our space timers, that we have created a beautiful couples affirmation track. And Vernon is doing the finishing touches on our landing page because he is the tech guru among us. So he is finishing up our landing page for you to be able to go and get your copy of the couple's affirmation.
Yes, yes. We're going to have the link in the description of this episode, and we're going to make sure that you can benefit from the things that we benefit from. We have things that we do to start our day. We have things that we do throughout the day that strengthen and deepen our relationship and our love for one another. We have things that we do, to end our day that's going to lead us into the next phase, the next day, what the future that we want to build for ourselves is, that we just are intentional about this relationship and our interaction together. And that's what's making our relationship as strong as it is. And that's what's giving us a leg up over a lot of other relationships that we see and the problems that we hear people talking about. So if that's a thing that you're interested in, if you want your relationship to be more deep and more intimate, then these affirmations, whether you're using them together as a couple, whether they're just something that you would use for yourself to guide your thoughts and shape your mind throughout the day, they can be very, very beneficial. They're very powerful, and we want to share them with you. So, like I said, look for the description. Look for the link in the description of this video. Spread the word about it. Please like, subscribe, and share this episode, this YouTube channel, information about this podcast. Let people know that they can go to YouTube or Facebook or Spotify or many other platforms and just search for Love, Space, and Time. And you'll see Kamisha and Vernon pop up, and you'll be able to benefit from what we have to offer. So pretty soon, I go ahead and say it now. Go to lovespaceandtime.com. Go to that website, and the landing page will be up. You'll be able to drop your name and email address into the information and stay on top of anything new that we come out with, because we intend to produce a lot. And as a gift, we're going to make sure that you get that couple's affirmation recording. It's like, how long is it? Like 25 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes.
Yeah, you can loop it. You can loop it as much as you want. Just let it play. But it's something that's going to be very beneficial, and we would love for you to have it. So stay connected with us. Plug in.
And in closing, if you're watching this video and you are in a long distance relationship and you would like to be a guest on our show, drop us a line in the comments or find me on Facebook, find Vernon on Facebook. We have a Love, Space, and Time Facebook page as well. So reach out to us and let us know if you would like to come on our show and talk about your long distance relationship. So with that being said, we're going to crank up the music. Peace, love, and light, y'all, and have an amazing rest of your day.
After that, y'all. Yeah.